Good day, friends. It's Monday, sometime in March, year of our Lord 2019. It's a beautiful day. Weekend's just over with. I've had a great week. I've had a great weekend, but I'm back. First project of the week, and what a beauty! Again, look at this. Weighs a ton. Love these. Love these guitars. 2005, so it's probably not weight relieved. Gibson. What is it? Is it a standard? Probably. I don't know. Don't remember. I wasn't paying attention when he gave it me. This is one of PK's, another PK's blinder. PK is a friend of mine. I've known PK for over 30 years. We used to play football together and booze together back in the day. Rock City and all this in Nottingham. And great guy. And I've just done 4 of his guitars the other week and he's bought me 2 more. I did a little series, PK's blinders, and this is fantastic. And again, just wants to set up. That's it. Just bringing them in, getting them set up because they've never been set up. Well, I played this guitar, I had it plugged in last night. I'll tell you why I had it plugged in last night. I bought, you remember the old Boss GT series, you know, the multi-effects pedals, guitar effects processors. Picked up a Boss GT3 last week for 40 quid. And I was playing on it last night and I used this guitar. And I had some great fun. But anyway, I digress. Let's move on. What a beautiful guitar. If I had another Les Paul, this will be the type I'd have, the same colour and everything. It's an absolute beauty. I like a standard Les Paul me, 4 knobs, no push pull, nothing fancy, no weird switching, just a Les Paul in a tobacco sunburst like this. This is probably a dark honey sunburst, I don't know. I would go probably a little bit darker than this. Triple grade flame maple cap. They're absolutely stunning. Binding, nibs, the lot. Yeah, this looks fantastic. So, I don't know if there's anything wrong with it. I've got no idea. I played it last night, played it for an hour, had a great time with it. So I will just do the business. I'll get the setup done with the old strings on. People frown at that, setting it up with old strings on. The thing is, I'm putting exactly the same strings on, same gauge, everything. Say, oh yeah, but if you do it with old strings, it'll all be different with new strings. No, it won't. It'll be pretty much the same. And if I know the intonation's right with the old strings on and the action and everything, I'm going to be pretty close when I put the new strings on. I still will check everything with the new strings on, but it just means I've got the guitar pretty much set to how I want it. So let's start, or let's see where we're going to start. Let's explain what we are going to do. I'm going to check the action above the 1st fret of the strings. If they're too high, I will slightly cut the nut slots. Not until first I've checked the action at the 12th fret. I've checked to see how straight the neck is, see if there's any relief in there. So we only want a little bit of relief. As a rule, I go with 1/4 of a millimetre relief between the 8th and 9th fret. 3, 5, 9. So that will be here on a Les Paul, or your 4th inlay, right there. And I would like 0.25 millimetres gap, that's relief, bending that way, like a smiley. You know, we get a feeler gauge and I'll measure that in a second. I would say, looking at that, that's pretty much bang on. Looks to be just about right. Good thing about doing this for so long, you get to know. Someone said to me not long ago, he says, you shouldn't do it by measurement, you should just do it by eye. I said, no, let me tell you something. I do it by measurement because I've always got a reference. I always have a point of reference. So I do everything by eye. I started wearing glasses last week. First time in my life. I'll be 54 this year. I started wearing glasses last week. Apparently I should wear glasses all my life. Do it by eye. Measure it, son. Measure it. You know what I mean? Well, I do it by eye. Yeah, great buddy for you, pal. That's perfect. So the relief under there is absolutely perfect. So we know we've got that good. I will one day do a proper setup video. In fact, should I do that now? You know what? While you're here, friends, I'm going to turn the camera and I'm going to do a setup. But I'm going to do not so much as a live situation. I might do that one day. I think of doing that one day, you know. Putting a live camera in here for YouTube one day. I don't know what day it'll be. Probably be a weekend, and I'll just run the camera live. And we'll see how it goes. But anyway, you're live now. There you go, kids. Let's just show you a little bit. So this is almost a live session for you. There you go. Right then, I have a guitar where I want it, on my bench, everything supported, beautiful. So the first thing I will do on a setup, it's fun this, isn't it, is take my notched straight edge. I'll explain what a notched straight edge is. It is a straight edge with notches in it. And these notches fit over frets, and what that means is we can lay the straight part on the fingerboard or the fretboard, whatever you want to call it. And we have different sizes, like this is for a Gibson 24 3/4 inch scale length. The other side's a Fender with an F on it, 25.5 inch scale length. So, and I have various ones of these. But anyway, let's get it on there. And we're going to check how straight the neck is. And what we're going to do is going to measure relief at the 9th fret. Now I do have a feeler gauge. And me not being an American, I have a metric one. Because we don't measure things in nths of inches over here, we measure things in millimetres. So 1/4 of a millimetre is perfect for fret 9. We'll say fret 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's between frets. If you count some of frets, it's between 8 and 9. But if we count this as 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And the gap beneath the bottom of this not straight edge and the curve or the relief that way in the neck should be about 0.25 millimetres, and here we go, and we're going to bang that in there, and there you go, and that's just scraping 0.25 millimetres. That is absolutely perfect. So moving on, I will next check the height of the strings above the 12th fret, and we'll have string 1 and string 6, or high E, low E. And as a point of reference, I like myself with the relief set correctly. I like from the top of the fret to the bottom of the string on the 12th fret on the high E, I like 1.5 millimetres, and on the low E, I like 1.75 millimetres. That is a great point of reference. It's not as low as you can get it, but it's what I still consider to be quite low. And I'm very happy with that. Now here we are a little bit low. We are at 1.5 on the low E, which we'll probably get away with, and we are at just about 1.4 on the high E. I'm going to slightly, ever so slightly, raise that action. I mean, we're probably not getting any buzz anyway now, but I like it just that little bit higher. And we are getting fret buzz, listen. So the action is too low, proving my point. So what we are going to do is we are going to... It's just a thumb wheel job, isn't it? So I'm going to just raise the thumb wheels up. This is going to bring everything sharp. I'm not bothered about that. We can get to the tuning in a minute. So again, I've raised it up. And we will look again. And we've not gone enough yet. And I will raise the bar again. Always raising the bar. We're always raising the bar. I did say once on a video that I like to think that I'm above high end. Always raising the bar. You're always raising the bar when you've got Jesus. I'll tell you that for nothing. That's for free, boys and girls. Okay, it's about 1.8. That's about 1.6. So let's drop down again. Just get it to roughly where we need it to be. You're going to take my word for it, aren't you? That's 1.75. And 1.5 are exactly where I would like us to be. So once I've got the action set there, first I've set my relief in the neck, so I know where I need to be. I've got the relief set when the strings are under tension. I then set the height of the strings at the 12th fret with the relief in there. I'm happy with that. Now I'm going to check the height of the strings above the 1st fret. And again, as a rule, measurements, you can do it by eye, you can do it with a piece of paper, hold everything down on the 3rd fret, and if it holds a piece of paper it's enough. I like to go with the measurement. And you could go down as low as 0.1 of a millimetre if you really wanted to, but me, I like to go to 0.2 on the high E. Sorry, on the high E, so I like to go about 0.2 millimetres. This is the gap between the top of a fret and the bottom of a string. And that's too high, so we're going to go lower. I would think that'd be about 0.3. I like to get that down to about 0.2. Let's have a look at 0.3. Oh, we're well high there, and I like to go to about 0.2 at this end, 0.3, 0.35 at this end on the low string. We are very high there. You'll find that's nearer 0.5. So what we are going to do is we are going to cut the nut slots. We're not going to do it now, we're going to do it on the major set. We're going to do it when we've got the new strings on. So we know the nut needs cutting. The strings are too high above this first fret with the guitar set up as I like it. That's about 0.7 there. Too high. That means when you finger an F chord here, or play a bar chord on the you playing any strings on the first fret, they're going to be sharp. Well, these are going to be sharp anyway because I've tightened the strings. So we need to cut the nut slots. I'm going to do that later. We'll come back and do that. So the next thing I'm going to do is check the intonation. So guitar tuner, which I will plug in. We're going to tune to pitch. I say, if this was live, it'd be great. It's going to be kind of live, if you know what I mean. It's like I'm live right now, but you'll be watching recordings of this later. So anyway, this is how I'd work if I was in a live situation. I'd have the camera in a different spot, probably up right in the corner there, and would have you at an angle you could zoom in. So well, we're picking nothing up there. Something wrong with this guitar lead. There you go. So we're going to go check the intonation. Open 12th fret. That's good. A 12th fret. It's a little bit flat. Let's check again. Okay, now we're in tune. Very good. Most of Phil's guitars that come in, the intonation's bang on. So they are set up pretty well when they come here. That's good. Very good. Right, the E is sharp, rest of them are fine. So what we're going to do is we are going to alter the saddle. We're going to take it further away from a nut. We're going to lengthen it because it's sharp. We need to move the saddle to the right as I look at it. And remember which way to go is on a 12th fret. If your 12th fretted note is flat, you go left. Flat and left are 4 letters. If it is sharp, you go right. Sharp and right are 5 letters. Really easy way to remember it. Because a note is sharp on the 12th fret, I move to the right, which is away from the camera. And I'm going to give it a couple of turns, and I'm going to bring the guitar back up to pitch. That's an E. And there you go, we are perfect. So now we have set the relief in the neck with the strings under tension. We've set the height above the 12th fret by altering the bridge. We've checked the nut slots. They're never a little bit high, but we do have the guitar set up. We now have the intonation set. Next part of the process will be for me to loosen the strings. Because as I loosen the strings, where that guitar neck has relief, when I loosen the strings, because the string tension slackened, the neck will straighten out. And once the neck's straight, we're going to go across with a fret rocker and we're going to check the frets, see if we have any high ones. So you are getting to see basically a setup from scratch. But this is exactly how I would go about it anyway. So what we're going to do is, well, the strings slackened, we're going to have a look at the neck. This is not the complete way I would check things. Right, we have the neck more or less straight. It is a hair not straight. Make sure there's no tension on the strings, but this will just give me a good enough check just for now until I can get the strings off completely and we can get the trod set. And what we are going to do is we are going to remove the truss rod cover so we can get at the truss rod. Which I'm not going to do yet. I won't touch the truss rod until I have the strings off. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go across with a fret rocker just to see what state we are in. Now this, there's there's probably a 20th of a millimetre relief still in that fingerboard, or in that neck there. But it is good enough to go across with a fret rocker just to check the frets, to see if we need to level anything. And I'm only going to go up the middle for now. We'll do it in depth once I've got the strings off. Here's a high fret, number 5. Number 7, so that's 2. Number 9, that's 3. Number 15, that's 4. Number 18, that's 5. Number 19, that's 6. So this guitar does need a fret level. I will know that for sure once I've got all of the strings off and I've got the neck absolutely straight. But at the moment, we are looking at 6 high frets. And I've only checked down the middle. I've not checked the edges yet. I've got the outside edge to do and the inside edge. So I'm already considering that this guitar is going to have a fret level, which is going to up the ante a little bit. It's going to be a little bit more expensive, but it means it's definitely 3 hours more work for me, or 2 or 3 hours more work for me. So that's as much as I'm going to do for now. I'm going to remove the strings, I'm going to set the neck straight again, I'm going to move the camera and we're going to go across and we're going to check the frets properly to see where we are. If it's just the 6, I'll do feel a special rate because he is a friend and I won't charge him for a fret level, and I'll do it all by hand. But if there's any more than 6, I have to do a complete fret level, and that means removing the nut. It means skimming across all of the frets in one go. And re-crowning a lot, and it's an extra 2-3 hours work on top of an intensive setup. So you know, I've got to be paid for that. So there you go. So anyway, check back soon and I'll give you an update. So with the strings now off, the camera angle changed, you can now see the whole of a neck, starting last fret, first fret, so you've got a good view of everything. And what we need to do now is we need to take a truss rod adjuster, which is an 8mm one for a Gibson, and we're going to probably have to loosen the truss rod just a little bit. What we're going to do is we'll put a notch straight edge right down the centre, and we're going to check that we've got no gap underneath. And at the moment I can just see a very tiny gap. It means we've got a little bit of relief in there, so I'm just going to knock off the truss rod less than a quarter turn, it's about a fifth of a turn there, and that should, now we've got a lot more relief in there, so we know we need to nip this truss rod nut up a little, go back to where we were and give it a 16th turn, and that should straighten the neck up right up. Now by rights this neck should be straight without any tension on the truss rod, but it isn't. And the thing is, it's not absolutely straight. We've got a little dip coming down from a 2nd fret down, which means we've now got a tiny bit of back bow in, but we've still got a bit of relief here. So what we do is, from experience, I know that that is what we call a level neck, because you never get them perfectly straight. And the way we can check that is like so, or we could take the not straight edge and we can just move it so it's on the top of the frets. I'm going to have a look, and that is touching all of the frets. I'm going to check again, just keep checking. Probably got a little bit too much. We're going to just knock that back off, probably 1/32th of a turn, maybe even a 64th. Just knock it back off until we've got that neck, what I deem to be straight, and I deem that to be straight. We've got the tiniest bit of relief under there. See if we can just get rid of that, and that's it. That's probably 1/64th of a turn, and I think that is exactly where we need to be. That is what I consider to be a straight neck. Now, if I was refretting this guitar, what I would do is I'd release the truss rod completely, get the frets out, cut the nibs off, and I would sand this flat again with a radius beam, and we'd re-radius the whole board to make sure we are perfectly flat all across, because they do go slightly up and down the underlay a tiny bit. I mean, you're not going to notice it once the frets are all levelled. And what we're going to do now is, now I've got the neck straight, and this is a few years away from needing a refret just yet. There is a lot of weight down the centre. It tends to be on Phil's guitars, especially around strings 2, 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 down this end. 2, 3 and 4 coming further up here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a fret rocker, 4 different lengths. This is actually laser cut, milled perfectly flat. This is the expensive one, 15 quid this. The reason we have 4 lengths is so we can check 3 frets at a time. And because it's so flat, if we get a rock, we do 3 frets at a time, because if we get a rock, we know the middle one's high, and it's how we check. Now, we are always assuming that the first one and the last one are right. And we can have a look by eye, and they are fine. So everything between these 2 frets is going to be radiused to these 2. So anyway, we're now going to check again with the straight neck. I think number 2 was high before we are. On that edge it's high. So all we're going to do is just mark off it. There's quite a bit of wear on these 3 as well. So level and recrown is not going to go amiss. If it's under 5 in the middle there and at the edge, not at that edge, so that's 2 already. We go in there. If it's less than 5, we can get this all in under an intensive setup. Again on the edge. This is going to want a fret level. We've already got 3 frets down this end. That was high. So this is going to need a fret level, so I will break the news to Phil shortly. Was it this one? Let's just check it again. So I'll just pay attention to my wife. I can hear her creeping up the stairs. She's been quiet because she knows I'm doing a video. But I can hear her. And there. So there you go, we're already over 5 frets. And this is the reason we get the neck straight and we do it properly with the strings off. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to tape up the whole fingerboard between the frets. We've already got the neck straight. We're going to level all of the frets, one here and there, both sides. Fret level. I can more or less guarantee that this guitar has not had the frets worked on since it came out of the factory. And there again, middle. I've lost count now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 so far. Yep, complete fret over on this one, so I will message Phil shortly. Let them know the damage. Fret level with a setup, 100 quid. That one as well. More or less, not all the way across, but 2/3 across. 100 quid, £5 for strings, 105 quid, job done. That's including a complete setup. Now, if the setup's not complete yet, I will check, loosen and tighten every bolt on this guitar, every nut, bolt, screw. There you go. So there you go, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 frets with high spots. I'll just go through them again. So listen for the rock. Yup. 2, 3, 4, still 4 because it's the same fret. 5, 6, 7, 8, still 8, this one, 9, 10. So what I will do is I will mask off the whole of the area, the fingerboard and everything. I'm going to try not to remove the nut. Reason being, these two frets don't need touching, so I don't need to come that far. Because removing the nut and gluing them back in is always going to cause problems. So what we are going to do is we are going to build up a little ramp there using some tape. And then, in fact, I'll do it on camera. How's that? Build up a little ramp. Like so. We're just going to use slightly. We're going to build a little ramp here, just so when I come across with the leveling beam later, we're going to scoop straight over that nut. We're not going to knock it off. And I think we're just about there with that. I think we're going to keep the nut intact by doing that. A little bit more tape. You're live here, guys. Getting a live demo. Again. We just built a little ramp up there. And that should be, you see now, that's going to stop. Well, I'm going to show the leveling beam in a second and you'll get exactly what I mean. So we built up a little ramp there. That's good. We can keep the nut on there because I'm going to be levelling the frets using a levelling beam. And this is a milled, perfectly flat piece of 2" by 1" steel box section. Both the 1" edges there and there have been milled absolutely flat. I have some 240 grit sandpaper fixed on there and I have some 400 grit there, and I'll do the main levelling with 240 grit to remove all the excess material. And I will smooth it off with the 400 grit just to make it easier to polish up later. Once that is all done, I'm not doing it yet because I need to basically tape up the fingerboard. Once that's all done, where I've flattened the frets, I'm going to have to re-crown them. And then after that, I'm going to have to polish them. So I'm going to crack on with that. I'm going to prepare the neck ready for fret leveling. And I will come back and give you an update once that is done. So I've nipped on a little way. I have the frets levelled. You see they're now all covered in pen. I've already gone with the 240 grit. I'm just going to go over with the 400 just to make sure we've not missed anything. And this should remove all the pen pretty quickly. And that looks pretty good. what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go across with the 12-inch radius, just with some 400, some old 400, and just make sure we've kept that radius. So press down firmly so we've got the paper where we need it. So that's centered nicely. Take a grip and just and we should have maintained that radius. That's it. So we have flattened all of the frets across the top where they had that crown. We've got to put that crown back in there. But what we're going to do is I'm just going to go across with a fret rocker. Just make sure we have all of the frets level. That's as much fret. Well, I mean, we could remove a little bit more if we wanted to, but that's absolutely fine. So we're just going to check the frets. Also remove the indentations from this end as well. So anywhere that had wear before, now doesn't have any wear. Fantastic. These frets are now level. Should be level all the way up. I'm not going to show me crowning and polishing on this video because I show that on most of the videos I do when I do a fret level anyway. So this is beautiful. So this guitar will play like a dream. Just get a nice low action, and that is it. Those frets are level along the whole length of the guitar. That is just beautiful. So I'm going to take, I've not got any out, I don't think I have. I'll take a little steel wool, just a little piece. And all I'm going to do is remove the pen from the nibs. Got a little bit of marker pen on the nibs, and this will get rid of that. And then when we crown, everything is going to look fantastic. That's good. And that's the thing with this guitar, it does have nibs, so there's going to be a slightly flat fret anyway. There always are with nibs, a bit flatter than normal. Just removing them pen marks from the nibs here. That is it, and that's good. So what I may do whilst recrowning these is I may just go with a crowning file rather than go with the three-cornered file. I'm just going to have a look. And I think I'm just going to use the crowning file to recrown these frets, because you normally get quite a flat fret with a nibbed guitar anyway. And that's fantastic. And then we'll do the same with the diamond file. That's going to be fine. We'll just check we've not taken any height off there, and we haven't, because if we did, this one would be high. So wipe the file. See, move on to the next one. And I'm thinking just crowning like this would be absolutely fine. Again, oh, that's nice. I can see the material which come off. Just checking But we've not taken anything off the top, because we're not taking anything off the centre. We're just taking it off the edges just by crowning. Nothing's coming off the top, so we're not removing any height. I very, very rarely just use profiling files for crowning, but when I've got nibs, it's the best way. And there you go, and that is 2 done and done. And just watch it again. We'll do a wet wipe and a dry, and that's fine. And we've got 2 done. Now I'm going to move along, and I'm going to do the rest. And once that's done, we'll get some sandpaper, and we shall get the frets all polished. So I've really moved on with this guitar. The frets are now all polished. I've removed all the tape. I've just oiled the fingerboard using some mineral oil, lemon oil. It doesn't look like it's been around a while, but it's all done now. And all I've got to do now is put some strings on. I'm going to go with some Diodario 10s, these gubbins, and get them stretched in and get the guitar finally set up. And there we are, fret friends, all finished. And what a beautiful guitar this is. Absolute stunner. So I came in just for a check over. The owner didn't know what it needed. I ascertained that it needed a complete fret level, which it has had. Fret level recrown and polish. Frets are now all beautiful. It's also had a setup. All the electrics are fine. The installation's been done. The setup's been done. So don't have much time because he's on his way around for it now, and I've got other things to do. So I'm just going to tie this video up. So another project finished. I'm Victor Christian, your fret friend. Before I go, just check my website, fretfriend.co.uk. Even better, facebook.com/ng17. That's facebook.com/NGONESEVEN. I'm Victor Christian. Another project finished. Till next time, boys and girls, as always, God bless. Be good to each other, and I'll see you soon.